All right, here we go. Okay, I'm back. This is a recap, and I'm basically talking about a marvel at this. In the book of Yasser, there are a lot of supernatural things. It's a lot of, if you will, supernatural things going on. The reason I use the term Marvel is because of the Marvel comics and the movie Black Panthers. I hadn't seen it yet, but I'm still hopeful to eventually see it. And I'm given a reference in the book of Yasser, and also in the book of Psalms. It says, I said, you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High. Okay, now that's God talking, and that's found in Psalms 82 and 6. Okay, so moving on, we talked about how the earth is groaning with all these earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, mudslides, things like that. And the earth is basically saying, hey, we need help out here. Where are the sons of God? When are you going to help us? We're crying out. The earth is crying out. Mankind is crying out, waiting on the sons of God to stand up and be counted and do what you're seeing in these Marvel books. It came from somewhere. If you read in the book of Yasser, like, let's see, we had a reference in Joshua 10 and 13. This is just a review. In Joshua 10 and 13, it talks about Joshua literally making the sun stand still. Joshua told the sun to stand still, and it had to obey. Now, how was Joshua able to do that? Joshua knew who he was. He's a son of God. Titles, I'm not really big into titles, but if I had to have one, I would rather be called a son of God than any title that man would ever give me, because God titled me. He's given me more than one title, but one of them is, you're God. So with all of that said, let's see, where am I going to start back? Okay, now in the book of Romans, it says all creation is waiting for the expectation of God to be revealed. He's talking about the sons of God. We are the sons of God, according to Scripture. God said, you are a God. So now it's time for us to start walking into that. How do we do that? The first thing you need to do, which I really had an incident that happened to me today. I'm supposed to be eating less meat, right? So I was going to call the manager, because every time I go up there to buy pre-cooked chicken, it's always bloody. So who am I? I'm like, okay, I need to file a complaint. Then Lou was like, well, didn't you say you're going to be eating no meat, less meat? Why are you going to complain? That sounds like you're trying to eat more meat. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because eating less meat makes my spiritual senses heightened. Every time I notice, especially beef and pork, that stuff weighs me down. I can hear from God better. It just really works out. So I had to face the fact and be convicted of my own self, because I'm trying to eat more meat, but I'm really not. So that was one thing that happened to me the other day. Okay, how do we get our spiritual senses heightened if we're not already born with them heightened like some people are? I know a woman that actually can hear people's thoughts. Yeah, I'm going to repeat it. She can actually hear people's thoughts. I'm like, Now that reminds me of Jesus. Jesus always, when people were trying to check him or trap him in something, it would say, and Jesus perceived their thoughts. Okay, so that sounds like a God action there. That sounds like a God move. Perceiving thoughts. I would really like to perceive somebody's thought, because if somebody is about to come in with a gun, I would like to perceive thoughts. How do I get to that level? One thing I noticed is about the diet, so you can hear better. If you're not already born with these predispositions of these supernatural gifts, some people can see in the spirit without anything without going on a fast, without drinking all this alkaline water, which does heighten your senses. All of these things, some people are just born by default with all. It's not really default, but some people are just born with all of these, with some of these gifts. So others like me got to work on them, and I'm totally guilty, because it's like the earth is saying, well, where are y'all? Where are the sons of God? Where are they? We're here, but we've been asleep. Me, been asleep, hadn't done anything, been knowing that, why do people have to go to Africa to get people raised from the dead? Why can't we do it where we are? I'm guilty of that. But I've also had a strong desire to raise people from the dead. I'm wanting to do the same things that Jesus did. Jesus talked to plants. How do I know? Jesus was hungry one day, and he saw a fig tree afar off, and he said, I'm going to go get a fig. And the fig apparently said, not today, buddy. I got you food. And Jesus answered, all of this is verifiable in the scriptures, and Jesus answered, and he said, okay, I'm going to have to put a curse on you. You're not going to ever do anything else, because the fig tree talked to Jesus. How do I know? Because Jesus answered the fig tree back. Okay, so I want to get to the point where I can hear so good, so clear, nothing will be able to come up on me. I can hear people's conversation. Just like Elijah, I was telling you about the other lady that can hear other people's conversation. They might be in Chicago. She might be in New York. Okay, all of that is scripture based, because Elijah was able, this commander was about to kill some of his people because he thought he had a snitch, and they were like, no, don't kill any of us. Thank you. Thank you for joining. So he said, no, it's a prophet over there that hears everything you're saying. Wow. A prophet heard yards and feet away, a long distance off, every strategic plan that the enemy had. How would you like to have a extra sense or heightened senses so you can abort some of these things, some of these killings, all of these awful things that are going on in the earth? We just got to step up to the plate. We can't keep doing this same thing. If you're called to pray, do that. I was just online yesterday, and this guy that I follow, he said the Lord told him to take the school in his area to go and walk around the school and be praying for protection, because it's only going to get worse. So I'm guilty of not being in place, but I'm hopeful. I'm still changing my diet. I'm still going to be drinking alkaline water. I'm still going to actually go in solitude, though. You're going to probably need that, because I know Jesus did that on a regular basis. He went all by himself and spoke to the Father. Now, the other thing I want to address is thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Now, you know, and I know that's, I think it's found in Matthew. So if we're supposed to be making God's kingdom like it is on earth, like it is in heaven, now we know doggone well it ain't no killing of innocent babies in heaven. We're supposed to be letting these things merge up. We're guilty. Crying is not going to help. You can cry. I can cry till I'm blue in the face about these innocent lives lost. But until I get up to really do something, it's not going to help. I'm an intercessor. I've been an intercessor for years. But it's time to move. Continue to pray and intercede for these people, but it's time to move beyond that. It's time to show the power. About 100 years ago, the people in the U.S. and other places, they showed the power. Miracles after miracles, signs, wonders, people being raised from the dead. I mean, even now, my desire is also, just like Adam did, he talked to animals. That's my desire too. I want to talk to the plants. I want to talk to the animals. I want to just do things like a God does. And I was looking back in the book of Yasser. That's my frame of reference with a lot of supernatural things. And I was looking where in the book of Yasser. In the book of Yasser, let's see. I'm trying to see what chapter it was. Okay, I don't see the chapter. But anyway, I mentioned earlier in the last video that it's a lot of supernatural events in the book of Yasser. One was they went up on a walled city just like they did with Jericho. That was still a supernatural event. All of these supernatural things. Look up supernatural happenings by people in the Bible. You'll find Jesus as well as other people in the Old Testament. A supernatural event that Peter inadvertently caused when he was walking, his shadow healed people. How would you like to have that kind of power? To God be the glory. To heal people just not only from your physical hand or mouth, but just by your shadow. You are just healing people by your shadow. Okay, so again, I'm recapping. The earth is waiting. Mankind is waiting. Children are really waiting. Yeah. It's really, I'm guilty. I'm not anywhere near where I'm supposed to be. So what am I doing about it? Okay. All right, God. You say I'm a God. I need you to help me. I know I'm protected. Oh, since I'm in this God marvel. Now, unfortunately, the time that Jesus marveled was when he was marveling at the disciples' unbelief. Not a good thing. Probably been marveling at me. I love you, Jesus. Yeah, he loves me too. But I'm sure he's marveled at me because of my unbelief. All right. So I'm not going to say I'm going to do better because he'll just correct me and say, well, I really don't want you to do better in having unbelief. I want you to just get rid of it. Because faith without works is dead. Believe what I said. Believe that you're God. Okay, so here's a disclaimer. If you're new in the faith and you're wanting to be and learn how to become more godlike, the first thing is don't go try to chase demons. If you look in the Bible, Jesus just stumbled upon he didn't go looking for no devils. As a matter of fact, it was 7 sons in the Bible that apparently they had seen all this supernatural stuff and they decided that they wanted to cast out demons. Apparently they had seen it done. So the demons talked to them, all right. They said, okay, we know Paul, and I'm not sure who else they said they knew, but at the end of the day, they beat those 7 sons of Sceva. They beat them up so terribly bad that they ran, I believe, naked, if I'm not mistaken. So it was pretty bad. Every encounter that Jesus had, if I'm correct, when he had with the demon, it wasn't like I'm going to cast out demons. No, he was walking and he stumbled or they ran up to him or something. Now, it was an instance where he had prayed for this man's son that the devil tries to murder him up and tries to drown him. I'm not sure if he requested Jesus or not, but for the most part, Jesus just was walking and these things occurred. He didn't go out trying to run and go and cast out demons. Now, if one crossed my path, I ain't running away either. I'm not running away from the devil at all because I know who I am in Christ. But on the other hand, God didn't tell me to go and track down these demons to cast them out. Okay? So, look at the movie, look at the video Earth Song, and then look at the lyrics. This is the same assignment that I gave you the last time, but just in case, it's kind of like a recap on Marvel at this. I still hadn't seen the movie yet, and I know it's a lot of supernatural things in there. As a rule of thumb, if something is fake, there's always been original. Even though it may have been hidden for thousands of years, but it was an original at one point. Did people walk up buildings? Yeah. It's all in the book of Yasser. Now, for the people that say, oh, that's a book you shouldn't be reading. If I shouldn't be reading it, why was it mentioned twice in the King James Version? I have an inquiring mind. That's how I find out about things. That's how I found out about the supernatural. Wondering, okay, where's all the power at? A lot of people are saying that the power is gone. But God has a remnant, and you're going to soon see those people coming out that God has reserved, God has preserved, regardless of what has happened to them, such as myself. I've been through a lot of stuff, just like a lot of you have. I try to keep this thing here covered up, but I see it's easing on out. Anyway, so that's basically what I'm on here for, to let you know some of the things that you can do to heighten your spiritual senses. One of them is turn the TV off some. Stop watching all this stuff. Get off of social media. Take a break. Take a holiday. Get off social media. I'm on social media, but it's irrelevant. I'm not even on there every day. And you're going to have some time for you and God. There are countless prophets and seers that God tells things to. A lot of them, for the most part, I kind of think that they were born like that. Although I know that they have schools for prophets. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Elijah had a school of prophets. So I don't really know how that worked. If they just needed some additional training, if they were born prophets, I don't know. I think that they probably were, but they couldn't. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. All I know is there was a school of prophets, and they already knew that Elijah was going to go up. And he tried to squash him, like, be quiet. I already know that. They were talking to the servant. You know your master's getting ready to go up today. He's going to go up. He's going to go up. Okay. So the other thing is how Elijah just went up. Elijah just, some chariots of fire, literal, came and got Elijah. Talk about the supernatural. My. That's another supernatural occurrence. So, change your diet. Try to drink alkaline water that will help clear your eye process up and your discernment. You're hearing things. Now, you might actually hear things that you might not really want to, because some of the people that's been in this area for a while, they said one of the things that they really don't like is they don't like being fake, but they have to, because that's their ace, so to speak. People are hugging them, telling them they appreciate them, and they're hearing what they're really thinking. It's like, I hate this blankety blank. I'm going to smile. But the thing is, they got to act like, okay, oh yeah, girl. Oh yeah, what's up? They're knowing all the time that they hate their guts. So that's one of the things that I've discovered from these seers. They don't let these people know, I know you hate my guts, but you'll never know. You won't have that kind of access to me ever. Why I don't call? Girl, you know how it goes. Yeah. So they said that the biggest thing is they have to pretend that everything's cool with these people when they know it's not. That's one of the big downsides. And you get to see your family members and all this other stuff. You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you have your senses dull like I've had for years, it might take a while. Somebody might have to tell you, you got there's some people in your family. And I'm like, what? And then after they told me, it's like, oh yeah, that did happen. Why did he say that? Oh my God, you're right. See, my senses have been dulled for a long time, even though I've been wanting to cast out devils and do all these things for a long time. My senses have been really dull. So to avoid that, it's time for me to do everything I can to make thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And at the end of the day, we win. Darkness is not going to win. The scripture says, arise, shine, for thy light is come. The glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. Okay, darkness covers the earth. I think that's in Isaiah 60, if I'm not mistaken. Darkness is covering the earth. But like I said, I don't want anything to stumble upon me. I want to be aware. I want to be so in tune with my God factor. I'll take a left instead of making a right, because on the right side, there was a train wreck. I want to be, and if the Lord tells me to go over there, it's to either assist or to stop. Because some things he's going to allow to happen. The wicked are not going to always be troubling us. He's getting ready to cut a lot of these people down. Just like you're seeing with Hollywood and all of this sort of stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean death, but their reign of wickedness is pretty much coming to an end. And it's going to continue. The really other, whatever their genre is of wickedness, it's coming to an end. If you've been doing blah, blah, blah all these years, your granddaddy did it. Okay. So God is like, okay, you made your move for all these years. Now it's my turn. I got a group of people, a remnant. Don't play. I always have somebody reserved. Always. Even he said that in the scripture. Elijah was complaining, saying, oh, I'm the only prophet. It's like, man, please, come on. I always have somebody left. Don't ever get it twisted. It's still going to always be people that have not sold out to anybody other than me. That's what God is saying. And I'm one, and I know that there are thousands of others. So, again, I'm solar, or also known as high frequency, also known as April. But the real title that I really, really, really would love is the one that God calls me. Son of God. I'm a son of the Most High. So I want to look like him. I want to walk like, I want to act like my daddy God. When people see me, oh, by the way, which I've experienced this, and strangers have come and told me this, not anything that I was asking for. But they told me this has happened countless. Well, yeah, I still can count. Several times people have said, you have a glow. You have a glow. This happened over 20 years ago. And people are still telling me that now. That I have, they call it aura. They call it aura. So I have to look up all of these things. Your aura. Your aura. I know it's something special about you. I know it's something special. Now, these are rank strangers. I don't know these people. But I'm hearing it, so it must be true. So, my spiritual senses, oh my God. I'm insisting that I got to do something. Even if I have to shut everybody out temporarily. And just me and God go for it. Because I still got a few physical issues going on. No. I'm going to do everything in my godly power to prevent these things from continuing to happen. God is expecting his church to rise up for the occasion. Now, we know that God can snap his finger and make the bride ready. But I just don't think he's going to do that. I really don't. I think we're going to be doing exploits like they did in the Bible. I think that, like if a bear come up challenging me, I'm going to kill him. If I have to. If he's threatening my life, like David did, or threatening someone I love's life, like he killed the lion also with his bare hands. That was the norm. That was the order of the day, doing supernatural things. And I don't want God to ever leave me like he did. He left Samson, but it was because he had told him certain things. I pray that is never my portion. I pray that will never be my portion. If he tells me, an example. He told Samson not to ever cut his hair. And Samson cut his hair. You know how the story goes. And Samson didn't even know, his senses were dull, that the Lord's presence, that God factor, was very, very, very dormant. So meaning that he had to depend on his own strength. But in the meantime, he still thought he was all operating in the supernatural. May that never be my portion. Okay, so I generally end the broadcast by saying Namaste. Namaste means basically, I celebrate the God in you. Namaste and much love.